Hello lovelies, it's Sunday the 7th of June and I hope you're all well, hope you're all doing okay. Thanks for all the messages and comments, including from Denise, who has the Dear Designs podcast. I hope I've got that right, Denise. Who let me know, actually my mate Mandy had told me about this as well. If you're in the UK on the iPlayer, there's a programme called Fabric of Britain. Now it's a repeat, I think there are 3 of them, and the first one is about knitting. It's about 20th century knitting and how it all kind of took off from being a workaday craft to high fashion, thanks to Prince of Wales in the 20s. And then it goes through the 50s and it has some patterns for all the novelty things you can make. And I have some of those patterns because I have my grandmother's old patterns. And she was always making things for bazaars and jumble sales and church fetes and that sort of thing. So some familiar pictures in there. But yeah, so that's, I've put the link in the notes. So thank you, Denise. Thank you, Mandy. And yes, if you're interested, there it is. So that's all lovely. Now today's vlog is going to be a bit political, and I appreciate that not everyone's here for that. So if that's something you're thinking, oh no, not you as well, then completely understand. You'll have a nice day, you take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow. Is anyone still here? And I'm just telling you this not because I'm looking for kind of validation or anything like that, just these things are me sharing my day. So let me share my day to you. The last couple of days I've been on the horns of a dilemma because a Black Lives Matter protest, a peaceful protest, was arranged for the town in where I live. The little town in which I live, we're arranging a Black Lives Matter protest. If we didn't have a pandemic, I'd have been there with a banner. But I was really stuck with what to do for the best. And they're setting up strict guidelines about, they're asking you to take a 4-metre tape so you can put that down and have your spot in the middle of it. You know, all the safety precautions. And I am sure that for most people that has been absolutely fine. But I know what it's like at funerals when there's 17 people there trying to keep 2 metres away from them. It's a struggle. So I hope that it's all gone well. As you can tell, I haven't gone to it. And I was really, really struggling with that and really flipping between do I go, do I not? And it felt as though whatever decision I made, I would be a hypocrite. Because if I'd gone, then it's a gathering of a lot of people at a time of pandemic. If I don't go, it's a cause I feel very strongly about. And also there's that sense of, well, I'm not going to not go just because the government doesn't want me to. You know, there's a little bit of Bolshevism in there. So I was really kind of, I mean, I think I was up till midnight last night and thinking, do I do this, do I do that, do that? And in the end I thought, I'm not going to go. I sit on here moaning about people coming to the beach and not keeping their distance at funerals and all these things. It would feel hypocritical of me to then say, but I'm going to go to the park where there are hundreds of people. Well, there may have been hundreds, there might have been 5, there might have been thousands. I honestly don't know because I didn't go. But that's where we are. And it occurred to me that showing up is important. And that was why I was really struggling with the thought of not going. You know, showing up, standing in the gap, as Gigi would say, you know, just being there is important. And there's that whole silence is violence thing. You know, that's why I was struggling so much with this. But that isn't the only way of protesting, of making your mark, of doing what you need to do to support the cause. So instead, I decided to, what I'm calling Operation Pain in the Arse. Forgive the language. And instead of going to the park, with a banner. I did some research, and actually on the government website, on the UK government website, there is an awful lot of research based on different ethnicities. So I was looking in particular at crime-related things, as this all stemmed from a police officer killing someone. I'm not anti-police, by the way. I know they do a very difficult job under very difficult circumstances. And good police officers are as upset with bad ones as the rest of us are. So I'm not on an anti-police kick with this. But that was how this current wave had started. And there were all these stats there. A stop and search in this county, which is, you know, a fairly sedate county, not particularly populous. And these are the actual words on the government site. You're 14 times more likely to get stopped and searched if you're a black person than if you're a white one. What? Just unbelievable figures. And it kind of reaffirmed and put numbers around stuff I already knew, in terms of if you're more likely to get stopped, if you're more likely to get arrested, if you're guilty, you're going to have a longer sentence, just at every step. And I also found out some data about education, exclusions from school, wages, average salaries, lower, you know, all these things that we know, but I just put some numbers around them. And it's all on the government's website. It was such a find. I thought I was going to be like days searching for this stuff. So instead of going to the park, I have today written to my MP, the police commissioner for the county, the Justice Secretary for the country, and the Home Secretary for the country. I expect nothing beyond standard blanket replies from them, but they work for us. I was just asking some questions of, so why is that then? And what are we doing about it? So that was my protest today. And like I say, I'm not telling you this for validation, for criticism that I didn't go to the march, for, you know, anything. This is just the dilemma I've been going through in the last couple of days and how I personally have dealt with it. So like I say, this is stage one of the operation, because as I was only asking about crime today, there is also education and employment. So there's a couple of ministers I'll write to next week. It's not a 5-minute thing, that's okay. So yes, I wasn't at the march, and I am saddened by that. Excuse me, but I do think it was the right decision. And whether it was or wasn't, it's the decision I made, and that opportunity has now passed, so we do what we can now. So that was my Sunday. Hope yours was fun. Once I'd done all that, I did do some knitting and spinning as well, so, you know, it's not all serious. You know, I did do relaxing, crafty stuff as well. But that was my Sunday. So if you're still here after all that, thank you. If you're in the USA, if you check out the Lefty Knitter podcast, Aquila, she has made a cow that she's auctioning for the fund that's being set up by Neighbourhood Fibre Company. She didn't use their yarn for the cow, she used some other stuff that she had. But she's doing a kind of an auction to raise funds for them, if you're interested. Apart from that, I think that's it for Sunday. So normal service will be resumed tomorrow, back to me moaning about work and the weather. So, so I hope you're all okay. Take care, everyone. Look after yourselves. Keep safe in every sense, and keep well, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot.